Greetings, everyone. I am Tieesha Essex here with a video that I've been waiting to bring to you. Today, I'm live with the beautiful Talise, the home birth queen. She has been my best friend in my mind. Before I even got pregnant, I'm like, hey, when I get pregnant, I'm calling her, I'm consulting with her, I'm doing what she's doing. And she was one of the first that I talked to. I was still in the single digits of my pregnancy. I was like 7 weeks when we talked. But this is an amazing woman right here because she has had 6 home births and she's preparing for her seventh. And she's already like my best friend for real because she's also here in Georgia as well. So, Talise, how are you doing this afternoon?
I am doing good. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so glad we finally are getting to meet each other.
Yes.
And I'm just excited to share my story and help other women to say, hey, home is where the birth is too.
Absolutely. And we're going to just go into home birthing, just a whole bunch home birthing 101 empowerment through home birthing. That's what I'm calling this pregnancy right here, Black maternal empowerment. And because, we've seen the movies, we see the stories, not the news stories, we hear other people telling us horror stories and we're like, look, no more of that. So before we get into this, we have a medical disclaimer, okay? So I'm going to put that up on the screen really quick because that's important before we dive into this. So just 1 second. All right, so the disclaimer, this video does not provide medical advice. The information, including but not limited to text, graphics, images, and other material contained on this website, on this channel, and also this video are for informational purposes only. No material on this video or site is intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician and other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment before undertaking a new health regimen, and never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have read or heard here. Okay. So let me get us back to a full screen. There we go. So I've introduced you as Talise, the home birthing queen. Why are you the home birthing queen? Tell us.
Well, my husband names me that because people have been calling me that, like, you just have had all these home births. I've had 6 children at home. I've had twins that were full term and breech. Um, so I have a son. I've had my first 2 with a midwife and doula, and my twins were just with a doula, and then my last 2 were just me and my husband. And so I just felt I was pretty well rounded in my births that I had. And so after having all those, I was tired of telling one woman at a time, this is my birth story. Yeah, I had them all at home. Yes, it's 6 of them. And so I said, well, I could reach more people worldwide with a book. And so that's what inspired me to go ahead and write a book about it. And so now it's just become my mission to renormalize home birth, breastfeeding, proper postpartum care, and just share and help women everywhere who want to do it, and dads who are interested too.
Beautiful. I have your book here in my hand trying to get to the cover, but oh my gosh, your book is Home is Where the Birth Is. And that it just sums it up. No better way of saying it. Home is where the birth is. And I think with society right now, with the media, labor and delivery has become a medical procedure. And we're not saying it's not, but we're just saying that it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to turn over control of something that your body does that's so beautiful and so natural. You don't have to lose control of it. And can you talk to us about reprogramming our minds for a positive birthing experience? Because I read your story and each one was just so beautiful. Like I'm turning the page to read about the next home birth. And when I got to the end, and when you shared on social media, hey, we are expecting number 7, and I'm like, yes, another chapter, another chapter.
But wait, there's more.
Yes, to be continued.
Right.
Season 7. We're here for season 7.
Yes, right, exactly. But yeah, I realized over the years that it's not it's not just a physical thing when you're giving birth. It's also, it starts here in your mind, what you're saying. So if you're saying things like, oh, it's pain, then you're going to feel pain. If you say, oh, that hurts, you'll end up feeling eventually something hurting you, versus if you're saying, oh, it's pressure. And so I just decided to say, well, what other language can I change? Like contraction, thinking about something that's tightening and opening. Like that's not what you need to think about when you're giving birth. You want to think about being loose and relaxed and open and free. And so I love the beach. And it always seems to me like that is what the seeing the ocean is like what home birth is for me. So it's like, the waves come out and then the waves come in. And during labor, sometimes the waves get stronger. And so, but it doesn't have to be a like, oh, it's painful. It can be a joyous thing, like, oh, here comes another wave. Let me welcome it with excitement. And so just those are two of the major things I definitely focus on: women saying pressure, and women using the words contractions, or it's gonna hurt, or supposed to hurt. And I think once you have reprogrammed your mind to say, okay, this is going to be a positive, beautiful, pleasurable experience, then that's the first step and the ground for building the house of a beautiful home birth.
That's so beautiful because coming to you with my decision to home birth, it was great because I didn't have to deal with the naysayers or those who are like the what if this, what if that. I'm like, what? It might rain that day. It's like there's nothing to stress over as far as our situation, things that happen like that. And one thing that I want to ask you is we've heard these terms, okay, just home birthing, but you stated assisted and also unassisted. Can you explain us what the difference is in your experiences, the difference between having a midwife and a doula there versus now just you and your husband and your children? Like how is that?
Um, well, like every birth is different, and so they were all different experiences. And I think with my first births, it made me feel confident and secure having a midwife or doula at my births. I felt like, okay, I'm not in this alone. I got a team, I have support. And so, I can rely on them. And especially with my first birth, it was like, I don't really know what to expect. I think I do, but I didn't. And it was nice to have the support. But by the time we got to the last two children we had, it was well, I did actually look for a doula and midwife for those two, but like I stressed to women, there was nobody that I was comfortable with. And to me, that's more important than all of the credentials, all of the certification, all of the services they may offer. If you don't feel comfortable with someone, because giving birth is probably one of the most vulnerable times you will have in your life. And you need to be able to be naked or make sounds or whatever you need to do to be able to give birth to your baby. And there was no one that I found. And I talked to my husband. I was like, well, do you think we can do it? And my husband's like, yeah, we can do it. He was like, we've done it before. I was close friends with my doula from the twins. And so she was like, yeah, you can call me if you need to. But she was like, y'all got it. Y'all know what to do. Because the baby, if everything is fine and you're healthy, the baby's going to come naturally anyway. So it's just about you being comfortable. And I think it was, especially with my last child, is very intimate because my children were asleep and it was just me and my husband, and it was just a very intimate, beautiful experience. And with number 5, my children were there, so it was nice to see for them to be able to be involved in the experience. But you didn't ask me this, but for this birth right here, I'm definitely going to have all my children there, because I don't want them to just be like, yeah, I know home is where the birth is, but haven't seen it up close. So I want them, and they're interested and excited about it too. So they all want to be there and participate, and everybody's fighting over who's gonna catch the baby. It's probably gonna be a group catch. But yeah, so they're different experiences, but I'm glad I have experienced them all. And I would just encourage women to uh trust yourself, but also if you're nervous, it's okay to find a midwife and do. There's nothing bad about saying, "Oh, I get a midwife." It's a beautiful thing to have support, and it's a beautiful thing if you just want to be you or just you and your spouse.
I'm so glad you mentioned that your children are present because especially in the past 2 years, I read stories about, what's I call it the climax 19, but they're like limiting people coming into your labor and delivery room, different things like people are being intimidated, couples, well, you can't film, you can't take pictures, you have to wear a face mask while you're pushing, and you can only have one person in there. And I'm like, really? So one of the positives that I got from you was like, I can have whoever I want at my birthing event. It's not, well, you have to do this, you need a wristband. And last year, my niece, she had her son. I'm a great aunt. And while I was on video chat with her, she called me and said, "Hey, they're locking down the hospital because someone just tried to take a baby." And I'm like, "What?" So no one could access her. And so these are things that you've never had to experience with having home births. And that's something that no mother or father should have to go through. And you mentioned the pain. It's not pain, it's pressure. So therefore, there isn't a need at home for drug intervention. And I thought about that too, because with my son, I was so, I was out of it, but I don't remember seeing his face. I don't remember too much of anything. It was just a blur. It was like a bad dream. But one thing that I recall is the separation. And that's one thing that I do not want to experience again. And you did not have to experience that because when your baby is born, it's right there with you. They don't have to go to a separate nursery. They're not taken from you. They're right there in your home, and you have the protection of your husband in your own home. Can you talk about the peace and the serenity that you have felt 6, soon to be 7 times, post delivery?
Well, like I can't personally compare to say, well, I know that this was not a good experience, so this was an awesome experience, but I can say that I enjoyed being able to get out my birth pool and get into bed and be right there with my baby. And I don't have to ask for skin to skin or be interrupted all night long by nurses coming in and out the room or feel the pressure. And this is what I've heard from women, excuse me, and nurses and doctors, where, you're being pressured the whole time to get this, medication you don't need, or the Pitocin, which is terrible and only speeds up your labor, which is going to make the labor hurt unnecessarily because you're not naturally progressing through labor. And then because you're now in pain, you're stressed, your heart rate is elevated, your baby's heart rate is elevated. So a lot of times those turn into C-sections. I didn't have to deal with any of the pressures of that. I didn't have to request I want to breastfeed my baby. And to me, it's always, I'm happy for people, but it always makes me kind of sad when I hear women like, yeah, I had a doula, or my man, or I spoke up for myself and I didn't let anybody, tell me just whatever. Now I know certain situations it's a true emergency and you have to go to the hospital. So in those cases, you do still need to stand up for yourself. But in the cases that it's not, it's like you didn't even have to do all of that. You could have been at home and, like you were saying, have whoever that you wanted there, as many people as you want there. Like, I want to have this birth live. So it's like, I can have it live for the whole world to see. I can have all my children there, my husband, and it's just, I feel safe and comfortable. I've never visited a hospital and been like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Even if I'm visiting somebody who just had a baby, or it's, that's the only joyous occasion I know about at the hospital. But I've never been like, yeah, I want to go to the hospital. I don't feel good about it. Yeah. And like you mentioned, them being able to lock down the hospital, it feels like a jail to me, to be honest. And I don't want to go in there. I have no interest in it. And it just is a natural nervous place. There's sick people around, they're coughing. It's like, who want to get, it's cold, it's sterile, it's random strangers coming in your room. Sometimes you don't have the doctor that you've been visiting. I mean, going to see this whole time. And so it's just, I can't even think of any pros besides if it's actual emergency and you need it to go. And so for me, it's like, I'm not sick. It's nothing wrong with me. It's nothing wrong with my baby. I'm going to stay at home. Women have been doing it forever. Hospitals is a new phenomenon. And so it's always made sense to me to be at home and have my children at home. And it's just beautiful. I don't have to ride home, which I was like, and then you got to ride home, and most streets got potholes. Even if it's a smooth street, it might be a bump, or you got to swerve. You got to worry about the drivers. It's just like, I'm good with being at home.
And you're absolutely right about that, because even right around now with anything in my bladder, I come across a sewer cap or the gutter. Like here in Georgia, there is no like sewer drains where we live at. So it's like a hard like curb to get into the driveway. It's like don't, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. When you guys use it. Oh,
And my sweetheart is like, when he sees a sewer cap, it's like he just zeroes in like sewer cap and drives right on. I'm like, babe, I'm like, Pinky, you gotta slow this mother joker down, baby. So I can just imagine, and I do not want to go through that at all. And that actually, I was able to get my cover up here. Beautiful, beautiful cover, beautiful cover. And I just want to thank you for what you do, your book. I couldn't wait for the book to come in the mail. I'm like, look, I need to read this right now. And I think I had the rest of the afternoon. I was having my all day sickness, and I kind of just kept turning pages, kept turning. And you have beautiful pictures. You are so beautiful. Your husband is amazing. The two of y'all have made a beautiful family. And I thank you for sharing it with us, sharing your journey, your family, and these, intimate details with us. And how I connected. Our first conversation that we had was I went to Talise, Homebirth Queen right here with her crown shining in all her glory. I went to her website and I scheduled I went to services and I scheduled a healing from traumatic birth. And that's why, like, I didn't talk about being pregnant early on, because it was some mental things I had to process. It was some things I had to get through, and I couldn't imagine talking it over with someone who probably did not have any children, with like a regular therapist or stuff like that. Or I tell other people, and all they can do is just sympathize with you. But my consultation with you was empowering. It was empowering. You didn't allow me to sit there and sulk the whole time, but I was able to tell my story, also get feedback from you. I felt compassion, but you also gave me action. I had work to do. I had work to do. And I'll let everyone in on this. It was hard for me to hear congratulations. Like, when I went to my primary care doctor to, get the confirmation that we were pregnant and, get the referral to OBGYN, first he said was congratulations. But I expected something adverse, because in the military, when you're pregnant, it's like, oh, you got pregnant to get off the boat. I was like, well, damn, if I was a male, I mean, and if I was a male, it's like I can have as many children as I want. It doesn't matter. So I had to really process that. And I just want to thank you for, helping me get there to a point where when someone says congratulations, I smile, I feel it, and I say thank you. So I'm going to pull up your website as well. And if you're able to see it, or if not, can you tell us about some of the services and the classes that not only you, but your husband offer for expecting parents, mothers and fathers?
Well, first, I want to say that really made my day, because I know you, at the end of our conversation, you was like, I'm going to work on it. But to hear you say, you can hear congratulations and embrace it and accept it. Like, you have really made my day, and that makes me super duper happy. But yes, so my husband and I offer consultations and classes. So I have my big presentation that I do, which people can hire me to do on video chat for on Zooms for like, because I've done a class called, it's called Home Birth Demystified, excuse me, Home Birth Demystified, where I just basically talk about all the basics of home birth, from, how to find a midwife and doula, what's the pros of home birth, what do you need, how to help you get through different pressure pain techniques. So that is a class that I offer. It's called Home Birth Demystified, but I also have mini classes where I have what is home birth and how to find all those same things I listed for the demystify. I have those in small classes if you just want to do it, and those aren't that long. But I also have my home birth consultation where it's for an hour and you can ask me any question that you have. It talk about any concern,
Mhm.
anything that you might have heard about, and you like, can you give me the scoop on that? So I get deep into that for a whole hour. My husband also offers a class for dads because sometimes the mom wants to home birth and she's 100% like, yeah, I want a home birth, but the dad doesn't really know about it, or he's nervous. And I don't think it's necessarily always bad. It's just he wants to protect his woman. And so he's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, I don't know about that home birth stuff, babe. But my husband has had six, and so he's also very passionate about people having home births, because he feels the same way as me, that home is where the birth is. And so it's just him educating, but also helping the men feel comfortable to say, okay, it's a good thing that your woman wants to birth at home. I have the class that you just mentioned, helping heal from traumatic birth. So a lot of times, when you don't have the birth that you want, whether even it could be even another home birth. I've talked to women who have had home births that were traumatic for them. Not because something went wrong, it just didn't go how they mentally had wanted it to go. And if you don't I found personally for myself, from my first pregnancy to going into my second, if you don't heal from those births that were traumatic for you, it'll still mess with your mind with any future pregnancy. And so I'd like to help women be able to heal from that. I can't see the screen, but I might have more classes and consultations. I'm not sure if
Yes.
it's out of
Long
them.
story short, just go to TaliseHomebirthQueen.com and you will not regret it. Sign up for a consultation, including the class. I gifted dads discussing home birth to my sweethearts. I'm like, well, babe, here you go. Happy Father's Day. And or for him, it's been Father's Month because he's just
Oh,
amazing. So he just gets gifts after gifts after gifts. And another one, like I said, your book, Home is Where the Birth Is, that's also available here as well. So I just want to say thank you for that. Now, here we go. We're getting to the good part, the great part, the wonderful part. Like I said, when I was reading your book, I was going from chapter. It was just a page turner. I wanted to hear about the next, the next, the next. When I got to the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then come to find out on social media. So make sure you go follow Talise the Home Birth Queen on Facebook and Instagram. Do you have any other platforms?
I'm on other platforms, but those are the main two I operate from.
The
So on
two
Facebook,
main.
yeah, I'm Talise Home Birth Queen, and then I have a page and a public page, and I have a personal page, but I post the same thing on both of
Mhm.
those pages. And then on Instagram, I'm at Talise the Home Birth Queen.
And you have great content, great questions you put out because you ask for feedback, and it's just amazing. So after I think it was after a consultation, I saw your Facebook post where you're like, number 7 is on the way. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we do not have to read about it. We get to join you on this experience. Can you tell us how has this pregnancy bed? Congratulations. You look amazing. And can you tell us what you have in store for us with chapter 7? Season
Well,
7.
well, yes, this has been a very exciting journey because I did want to have another child. trying for a boy again. But if it's a girl, we will be certainly happy and blessed to have another child. This has been a pretty smooth experience, and that's another reason why I think it's a boy. But this has been pretty smooth. I am tired, and we are in Georgia, and it is very hot here. It is a heat wave. So I've got the heat, and then I also already have 6 children. So it's trying to be able to um, maneuver with pregnancy and still, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and we homeschool and all of that. And so it's just trying to be able to uh, rearrange life so that everybody is still happy. Because even now with the children, they're going through moods because I am pregnant, and that does affect siblings. And so I'm trying to be patient with them. But really, I've been feeling good. I drink my water. I'm drinking my teas. I walk all the time. I do yoga. I keep my belly moisturized. So, oh, I keep my belly moisturized because I don't want to sweat marks. And then
I hear you every time I get out the shower. I'm like, come on, I have to be like Talise. Come on, let it go.
moisturize. And so I just really wanted this time to have anyone who was interested come along on the ride with me, because people see the book and it's like, yeah, everyone doesn't read, number one. And then some people are still skeptical, like, did you really have all those peaceful home births? And so I want to show people, like, yes,
Yes, she
I
did.
have. I have had the peaceful and relaxing home births. And so I just want to keep, and I'd be tired sometime, y'all, but I just want to keep everyone included as much as possible. So videos
Mhm.
I have upcoming, I want to talk about my wives' tale genders that I've done, and what things do you need and you don't need, but you might want when the baby comes.
Mhm.
What should you have for your home birth? Recently, I did a video where I showed, because I'm gonna be outside. This is different for
Yes.
this time. I've always been in the house. This time, I'm gonna be outside. My husband set up a big, we call it the revival tent, but it's
It is. And you in the South too.
it's like a revival tent, but like a big tent, and have the birth pool. And I want to have a little food table set. I want to set it up really, really cool. And I know my husband's gonna help. He's really good with that. And so just and really embracing this experience. And like I said, I want to do it live. And even if I get to do it live or not, my husband is still gonna do the video and put it together nicely. But and I always be forgetting your question by the time I get to the end of talking.
It is. I'm gonna do the same because, like, I'll add these. I'll ask, like, my way of questioning is like I'll add an example, then ask the question, then all that stuff.
But yeah, so I just want to share everything else that I'm going through and thinking about, and people are asking me about. Sometimes it sparks questions, and I said, "Oh, I could do a video talking about this," because
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm having any more, but I certainly wanted to and share and include everyone in this experience. So this be like the village baby.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I have your channel up now. So make sure you head over and subscribe to Talise, the Home Birth Queen. You have such, oh my gosh, so many videos, was just so much. Like, after reading your book, I think I went and I immediately watched and see the ones here that's under this account. I went there and I'm just reading, everyone is listening. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Then also on social media, I was like, okay, I have notifications set when you post. I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for you and sharing your journey with us. So I also have a gift to those on my last 2 videos where I was like, okay, I need to get to a point where I start talking about my pregnancy, because I want to come out of nowhere like, hey, I'm interviewing Talise, the home birth queen. Guess what? I got this belly. No, I had to like do a little intro, like to warm up the water. But
Yeah.
for the next five mothers, fathers who schedule a consultation with you, I will gift you Home is Where the Birth Is. And that is my gift to you, because I feel the feelings I had of empowerment the smile on my face, I wasn't ashamed or hiding. I'm like, yes, I'm going to do this. I want others to feel that, and I want others to, have that connection with you, because you are definitely rare. Like, it would be great if, we had clones of you everywhere, but there's only one, and it's a limited time, and she's in her third trimester. So get it while the getting is good. Come on, schedule. All right.
Right, right. Schedule
So
now.
exactly. Well, I just want to say, I don't want to keep you on here too long, because I know, bladders and things like that. So you're a busy woman. So I just thank you for taking out time in your day to talk with us. And I highly suggest, everyone go subscribe, follow, connect, stay in touch. And I will be there to watch your outdoors home birthing experience in the revival tent. Now I can't unsee it now.
You got to
I can't unsee it now. It's gonna be great. So again, I just want to say, do you have anything in closing? Anything you want those who are watching, a call to action, any words of encouragement? Just the floor is yours as we close out.
Okay, well, I just want to say, this is not something new that I'm doing, giving home births. It's not a foreign thing. Women have been doing it forever. Your body was made to give birth. When you are giving birth, you can feel you going through the different stages if you're in tune with your body. And so, unless it is an emergency, home is where the birth is. And so, if every day well, not every day now that I've been pregnant, but I try to post as often as possible encouraging words for women. I talk about pregnancy, home birth, and proper postpartum care, really taking care of yourself after you give birth to a baby. That's extremely important. But I'm really easy to reach. I'm on Facebook, Talise Homebirth Queen. I'm on Instagram at Talise the Homebirth Queen. You can message me. I try to message people as soon as possible. I also have my website, TaliseHomebirthQueen.com, where, like she said, I have classes and videos and just information. Oh, I also have a birth worker directory. So if you're looking for a doula or midwife in your area, you can reach them on there, find them on there. And if not, let me know and I'll still try to find. I'll do posts for people like, if we're looking for somebody who's giving birth in such and such area. But I'm really have my arms open about this. This is something that is a mission and a passion of mine, to help women know their own power. You're a powerful person, and it's nothing like the power that you will feel after you give birth to your own baby in the comfort of your own home. And remember, home is where the birth is.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I wish you all the best. Congratulations. And I am cheering you on and following you every step of the way. So I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us today for this great video. You see the energy that just came through this video. You definitely brought it and shared it, and I'm happy. You also got some roses. You have roses from Sharon F in the comments. That's my Navy mom. I love you so much. She said, congratulations, Queen Talise. And we have Metaphysically Me. She stated, yes, beautiful family. And I'm pretty sure there'll be more comments after the video's posted. And you can also watch this video over on your channel as well. And we're also live streaming on Facebook as well. So it's in two different areas. I look forward to your continued content. So please continue to share this with us. And we're grateful. And we will talk to you next time.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations to you again. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Talise, might be stay on, and we'll talk backstage.
Okay.